Corey Heim, the pole sitter on the outside, Chandler Smith on the inside. It's been 8 years, but we're racing once again at New Hampshire Motor Speedway in the Craftsman Truck Series.
Whoa!
Contact going into turn one already, 3 wide up front. We've got Tanner Gray around behind him, 3 trucks around, Brent Cruz involved, Connor Mozak, Ben Rhodes, and the caution is out. This is reminiscent of what we've been seeing the last few weeks, guys. Caution comes out in the first 10 laps.
Brent Cruz had a great day yesterday practicing. You can see some heavy damage there to the 81 of Connor Mozak. Let's see if we can figure out what happened. Regan, we didn't oversell it. We knew they were going to be aggressive, and it started right here on turn 1 of lap 1.
And you see up in the front, when basically Chandler Smith overshot the corner a little bit, Tanner Gray did the exact same thing going into turn 1. And whether they got on the splitter, maybe something like that happened, but those trucks both went way up the track quick.
Quite a bit of damage there for Connor Mozak. Looks like all the playoff drivers are unscathed. We'll step aside as we're under caution for the first time. Under caution for the first time after a lap 1 incident involving 4 trucks. Regan, Michael, take us through here.
Well, just a great start by Ty Majeski on row 2, the inside there, and he gives a big shove to the back of Chandler Smith. Watch the momentum Chandler has going down toward turn 1 because of the push right there by Majeski. That made it hard to turn when he got there, Regan.
He gets that big shove that you talked about, Michael, and as he went to the bottom, maybe something happened to cause him to just lose the front tires, overshot the corner, but behind him, what that caused was a gap between Tanner Gray and Ty Majeski, and I think Tanner did the same thing. He got into the corner too far, and it caused him to shoot up the racetrack in the same spot.
Let's listen to Chandler Smith's radio.
Yeah, let the 11 on and me to get in. So I went in there and
And there you have it, low air pressure. That happens so frequently with these trucks, and especially at a place like New Hampshire. You're trying to keep that splitter on the racetrack. You want it down as low as you can early on so that it stays down low later on in the runs.
All right, let's try this again.
See if Majeski can get another start like that. He might grab the lead here.
Jeske starting on the front row alongside Corey Heim. Green flag once again as they head down into turn 1. Caden Honeycutt takes a peek further back, making it 3 wide.
I heard Caden on the radio this morning. He said, I'm not going to be aggressive early. Well, 3 wide into turn 1 on the first handful of laps. I think he might have changed his mind.
And I think we saw every truck in the field change their marker into turn 1 right there. A little bit cleaner start from that, or restart from that standpoint.
Nice dive into the corner there by Corey LaJoie in that 77 truck. He'll grab the 5th position. Matt Crafton was solid yesterday. Got a good qualifying spot. See if he can do something special today.
Matt Crafton, the 88, coming off the top 10 last week at Bristol, have been bringing some great speed to these racetracks week in and week out as he wraps up his full-time driving for Thor Sport Racing.
That touched my heart, that report about Raja sending Mr. Hendrick. Thank you. That just tells you his heart and who he is as a person and how much he appreciates the opportunity he gets to do this.
See Tyler Ankrum here battling alongside of his teammate Daniel Hemrick. Tyler not necessarily where they wanted to be yesterday in practice with that truck, so early on it'll be interesting to see if he can make up some ground. He would love to make sure he stays in a position to get stage points in this first stage.
Teammates right here battling side by side. McAnally Hildeman Racing, 5 trucks here this weekend. Christian Eckes has joined them for the weekend, and they were just down on speed. None of them happy with exactly what they had. And speaking of Eckes, he had to start in the back of the field along with Tyler Tomasi and Derek White for unapproved adjustments.
Much for Eckes to come through this field. He loves that truck. He just said he needed some adjustments to it to make it how he thought it was going to need to be to win this race, and they decided to go to the back and make those adjustments.
So Corey Heim out front. You see our pylon on the left, guys. Obviously, Corey Heim, Lane Riggs, the only 2 in red. They have advanced to the round of 8. Other drivers in green are the ones fighting to make the top 8 to move on after this race.
There's not a whole lot of fall off in the tires so far, so if you've got a good fast truck on the short haul, you should be good for now. But Regan, as you get 10, 15, 20 laps into this thing, these tires could start giving up a little bit, and it'll change the way your truck drives.
It'll change the way the truck drives, Michael, and the crew chiefs are going to be paying very close attention to that as well. They think they know what the fall off is. We see a great battle going on right now. They think they know what the fall off is going to be, and if that changes at the start of the race, they may have to change game plans just a little bit on what they want to do throughout the race.
Battle for 17th. They are racing like they're at the front of the field. Jack Wood in the gold and black, number 91 there on the left side of your screen. Dawson Sutton in the mix.
Dawson Sutton carries it on into the corner there, trying to clear Jack, and man, that's tight.
Connor Jones back in the 41, part-time driver for Nice Motorsports alongside his teammate, Bailey Curry.
And big contact getting into the corner there. You saw Dawson Sutton's truck jump sideways off of the nose of Jack Wood, and that can happen in New Hampshire. You try to get into the corner just a little bit more to the outside. That was a great save by Sutton.
You see, I just mentioned Christian Eckes right there in the 16 truck, moving his way forward. Started in the back, guys. He's already up to the 20th spot and going forward.
That's a big move, isn't it, Regan?
And right now, Michael, he's just thinking, get me out of this hornet's nest. I want to be where it's single file and I can pass trucks one at a time, not be dicing it up like this right now.
See a brand new driver in the 62. Beautiful looking truck. That's Michael Christopher Jr.
Yeah, he was just in the modified race this morning. Jamie had a really solid run going. Didn't have the practice session he wanted yesterday, Regan, and it was really sad. He was surprised he wasn't better. He said, I thought we would be faster. Well, he's keeping track with Christian Eckes in that 16 right now, racing with some really competitive trucks and doing a great job. Look at him, hook number 2 on the bottom.
And this is the best thing that could happen for him, right? He's racing trucks. He's following Christian Eckes. We know how good Christian Eckes is in these trucks. It's giving him somebody that he can range off of, and he can say, where do I need to be on the track? How can I complete these passes? I know we ran the modified race earlier today. Very different with the trucks, though, on how you maybe complete the passes and what you need to do.
Well, let's keep our eye on him. He is doing an awesome job early in this race, Mike Christopher Jr., and this is a great move here to the inside. He can complete this pass. We're going to have to watch this guy all day long.
And yesterday, if you saw our practice show on FS2, Stuart Friesen, the owner of this truck, at the racetrack, and it was so good to see him. I know so many fans, even the team, just rallying around him. He shouldn't probably be at the track this early after his serious injury, but it was great to see him. Amanda.
Yeah, Jamie, I can tell you it was so nice to see Stuart Friesen here this morning, surrounded by his wife and his son. And I was talking to him about Michael Christopher Jr. this morning, who raced in that modified race, as you said. Stuart was saying just how much experience that this guy already has at this track, so he wasn't worried about that, but he just wanted him to take in the moment of this debut, get into a rhythm, and learn today. He said that he's been talking to the young gun for over a year now to put this deal together. Also a little nugget from Stuart. He said we might see the 62 truck back at Phoenix.
Oh, well, if he keeps driving like he is right now, no doubt we'll be seeing him back. Connecticut driver, guys, this is a home track for him. He said it's such an honor. He grew up watching drivers here and racing in the modified series, and now he's making his truck series debut.
Nice move there by Ben Rhodes. I talked to Ben this morning. He said yesterday they were all over the splitter. Made some adjustments to that this morning. Feels really confident about his truck, and now he's moving up in the field. So a good start to the race for Ben.
Battle for the 10th position right there, Michael, that you're talking about. And just so people can reference, we've talked about being on the splitter a lot as this race has started. What happens is when you get on that splitter, it takes pressure off of the front tires. It takes load off of the front of the truck. And essentially, your truck wants to go straight as we see three wide as they battle past Norm Benning, who's lost a lap already.
Yeah, the nose, you can see how low. You want that nose right on the ground. So you try to, that's a delicate balance, getting it right to the ground and then have enough room for it to travel when it gets to the corners and not give up the grip in those front tires.
It's Caden Honeycutt there in the 52 driving for Stuart Friesen. That is Friesen's truck, but he'll be out the rest of the year. So Honeycutt doing a great job maintaining his battle to make it to the round of 8. First time being in the playoffs for that young man.
That 52 looked like maybe scrubbed the letters off that right front tire on his right front Goodyear. Could have had a little contact there, Regan, and he knows how important this point is. I mean, we're talking stage points. He needs every point he can get. You can see how dark that front tire is, where usually you'll see the yellow of the Goodyear running around there.
Corey Heim continues to lead here at New Hampshire. Ty Majeski second, Chandler Smith, Lane Riggs, Corey LaJoie. There's Stuart Friesen sitting on the pit box, enjoying what he's seeing out of his teammates. Welcome back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Love being back in this place. It's been 8 years since we've seen the truckers here, so many of them, as you would think, have never raced anything here. Just a handful, 7 truckers exactly, have been here in a truck before. Corey Heim, not one of them. As he continues to lead, he's led all 25 laps of this race.
Raced an Xfinity car here last year, so he's got some laps around this place. Did a Wilforce test as well this summer. So I think if you pair all that together with the talent level that he has behind the wheel in the season that this team is having, he's in a pretty good spot. But listen, Regan, like I said earlier, he didn't like the way that truck fell off yesterday. Amanda, are they saying anything over radio today?
Hearing so far right now that truck for Corey Heim feels excellent to the guy that's already won 8 wins this season. I talked to Scott Tibidelli about what that means for him as well, and he said, you know, at some point in my lifetime, I might rest and sit down and think about how cool this season has been. But he talked to me a lot about the communication between him and Corey Heim. Said that he's had the same kind of relationship with Brett Moffitt, Austin Hill, and just said that he can anticipate Corey. He knows within 3 seconds of walking in the hauler of what Corey's mood is. But he said, my driver has it all. He has maturity. He has discipline. He has talent. He's got it all, Kaylin.
Well, another driver who seems to have it all right now is Ty Majeski. I spoke with him earlier about the consistency they've had through the summer months, and he said it feels like shades of 2024. Of course, he's referring to when they won the championship. But I asked what has contributed to that, and he said, really, we haven't done anything differently. It's just things have been going right for me. But he said, this is my first time here, but he made a call to Josh Berry, Cup Series driver, short track racer, to get some insight about this racetrack. He said particularly those bumps in turn 3, but he believes this track will be in his comfort zone, and so far it does appear that way. He said, we're 36 points above the cut. We feel comfortable enough that we could give up stage points if we want for a race win.
Woo. Hanging the back out there too, huh?
Ty Majeski and team really turning it up. We mentioned at the top of the show, time to peak right now, and they are. 7 straight top 10 finishes. Still looking for that elusive win, which I think is a little surprising for this team.
Maybe a little surprising, Jamie, but it's right around the corner. You can't have the consistency that he's been showing up with without eventually that win breaking through and getting that win. And it could snowball for him. I know we're late in the season, but all it takes is getting hot at the right time. And that 98 truck has been so solid right now. The competitors know that he's there. They're keeping an eye on him, right? Corey Heim sees him in his rearview mirror, and he's keeping an eye on what he's doing.
26 laps to go here in stage number 1.
How frustrating is that, Regan? Though he gets right there and then catches a lap truck and loses 4 or 5 truck lengths, but he can keep that 11 truck in his sights, and he knows if he makes a good corner how much he picks up on that 11 truck.
Well, and that's going to put some importance, right, Michael, on these first pit stops when we get to them here in about 15 laps. It's going to mean basically that you have got to be perfect. If you only get to pit road 2 times, you and the crew chief are going to have to be perfect, because you won't get a lot of opportunity to make that adjustment to close up that gap that you have right now.
What about the pace for our man Daniel Hemrick? We talked to him before the race, said he felt like they were in a good spot. You can see just ahead of him, Raja Caruth, a couple of guys battling for some playoff lives, and they're fast so far.
Daniel Hemrick up to 8th. He was very real yesterday about we just need to be better. And the good thing for these teams, guys, they had a nice long practice session yesterday, 50 minutes. They don't normally get that. Then they had a chance to talk about it, think about it overnight, and adjust for today. A lot more time than they typically get with that 3 hours of gap between practice and race.
And I say this every time that the Craftsman Truck Series has this 50-minute practice, Jamie, I am a huge fan of that. Give the drivers the opportunity to really understand what's going on when they get old on tires. As we see 3 wide here down the front stretch with
trying to, in contact.
Oh no!
Daniel Hemrick
into the wall.
The 0-2 goes around as well. That's Jason Alexander.
That was a mess all the way down the front straightaway.
Caution out for the 2nd time. Drivers going 3 wide, trying to work their way around lap traffic.
There's the truck of Caleb Costner just ahead. Man, that was a mess.
And you could almost see that. You could see it brewing as they were coming across the start-finish line, and everybody got kind of mixed up down the front straightaway here.
I thought I saw Hemrick bounce into the wall, but maybe he escaped it.
There's Hemrick, moves alongside Raja Caruth. There's Jason Alexander. Try to work their way around Caleb Costner.
What a there! Oh no! You saw the contact by the 19 truck, battling for his ability to stay in the playoffs, and that's a lot of damage, Regan. That was a hard hit. Watch.
This will give us a better idea here, Michael, as to how hard. Oh, and you hear that contact, and that's the worst corner of the truck you could have that damage on, especially in New Hampshire. That right rear quarter panel.
And I think it snapped the front back into it.
Are you serious, dude? What the was that?
He and Caleb Costner got together that started that mess, but darn, Daniel Hemrick was the guy that paid the price for it.
See Jason Alexander heartbroken over this opportunity. He doesn't get to run in the truck series all the time. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to the EJP 175, where you see the aftermath of Jason Alexander's 02 truck. We're under caution for the second time, guys. One of our playoff drivers, Daniel Hemrick, caught up in it, goes around because two lap trucks got together. Let's see.
Coming to pit road, will they elect to go? I don't think so.
Stay out is the call for the front runners.
Here
Got a few takers.
Matt Crafton, guys with nothing to lose, coming to pit road.
Yeah, the guys that were basically in a position where they're outside of the top 10 for any points they might need. Why not take the chance and try to flip the stage?
And Daniel Hemrick ran around. He is on pit road, Amanda.
Yeah, that's one guy that's definitely coming in here to assess the damage on the right-hand side of that truck. I did hear from the team and Kevin Bellecourt to say, get on the right-hand side of that truck, change those tires. The plan is to go back out and come back for the left side tires. But Kevin Bellecourt on his feet, overseeing this. They teamed up at IRP, and Daniel and Kevin have loved the pairing between this team.
I think there's a lot more damage to that right front than we think. This is a good view we're going to show you at home now of what happened. As Daniel Hemrick exits turn 4, Jason Alexander goes to the bottom. And I don't know if he can make this corner even if Caleb Costner isn't there. Look at that angle. He shoots in way too far, locks up the brakes and runs into the side of Costner, and that just, golly, Daniel Hemrick just a victim of circumstances.
Wrong place at the wrong time, Michael. The other thing you got to remember, when you get that far down to the bottom of the racetrack, there's dirt, there's debris. The track's not very clean down there, so even if you could make the corner, your tires are going to have less grip, and they'll cause you to go straight up the racetrack as well. So just a bad situation all the way around when you get down that low on the track.
Daniel Hemrick came in 3rd in points, a nice cushion above the cut line, so that's why they want to take their time, get this truck fixed up, maximize points here after that.
That just looked like a pretty heavy contact into that safer barrier for that 19 truck as he angled into turn 1. Hopefully the truck can be competitive enough.
And I think the silver lining, Jamie, you just mentioned it, that, you know, they came into this race 51 points above the cut line. Let's not panic right here. Let's be calm. Let's repair it, as Michael just said, the right way. Do the things that we need to do, even if there's a lot of damage, right? As quick as his truck appeared to be early on in the race, let's just salvage what we can right now. And now the focus becomes, let's get through to the next round of the playoffs and make sure that we're safe.
And Daniel right now is trying to fill out anything he can to tell the team about what he's feeling. I know the speed's reduced, but he's a veteran. He can say, well, the toe's off, or I've got a problem with the right front, whatever it might be.
A lot of communication going on right now with Daniel Hemrick and his team. Well, tomorrow it's a Fox NFL doubleheader. It starts with a rematch of last year's playoff classic between the Rams and the Eagles, or other regional action in your area. Then it's America's Game of the Week as Dak and the Cowboys take on Caleb Williams and the Bears, or Cardinals and Niners. Check the local listings for games in your area. Again, that's only on Fox Sunday.
Carolina Panthers in action against the Atlanta Falcons.
Little Interstate 85 rivalry, not too far apart, the two cities, so always fun when those two teams get together.
Sorry about your Broncos. Colts were on it last week. Let's get an update. Caitlin.
Well, Jamie, Stuart Friesen is once again here at the racetrack. Great to see you for the first time in quite a while being here. How has it been being back at the track and working with the team firsthand?
Oh, it's been awesome to be back here at the track and see all my peers and teammates here. So no pain at the racetrack. It's been awesome to be here with Michael. Big thanks to USNE Power, Halmar and Mohawk, all our great partners and teammates. And kid's doing a good job so far. Looks just like Uncle Teddy out there, smooth and collected.
Great to have you back. Stuart Friesen there observing his teams today at Loudon, Jamie.
Yeah, and his teams are doing great right now, running 9th and 11th. How about Christopher Jr.? He saw something in this young man, and he is putting on a show today.
Yeah, Uncle Teddy. We all miss Ted Christopher, modified champion, and it's good to see him. Stuart at the racetrack. Talked to him this morning. He said, you know, Mike, I learned I really do love racing. It feels so good to be back in the track, he said.
No pain at the racetrack. Gotta love it.
I don't think we ever doubted how much Stuart Friesen loved racing, as much time as he spends at dirt tracks as well as in the Craftsman Truck Series. But man, it's so great to see his smile and just, you know, what's the best thing for a driver if you do have something go on? Get to the racetrack.
Well, Corey Heim's enjoying his day. He's led all 40 laps so far. Ty Majeski, Chandler Smith, Lane Riggs, Corey LaJoy. No change up front. So they do have 3 sets of tires for this race. And Regan, you laid out the strategy. What we can expect basically, but not a ton of fall off for these tires they brought here to New Hampshire. Here we go as the drivers approach the Echo Park Automotive Restart Zone. Corey Heim in the outside. The 98 slow on the restart.
Spun the tires and didn't get going. And look at Tyler Ankrum makes it 3 wide.
Chandler Smith in the 38 on the bumper of Corey Heim.
And as you look at Chandler Smith, having gotten up to that second position, though, that could be a very valuable point right now as this race plays on. He's going to do everything he can right here to hold Ty Majeski behind him. And you see Ty trying to work the bottom of the apron down there. A little bit of extra grip. Trouble back behind him.
Big wreck behind him. Connor Jones into the wall. Turn number 4. Oh, Christian Eckes McAnally Hilgeman Racing driver here for the second time this season.
See some damage on the right front there. Looks like a tire mark where some contact was made. I don't think there's any other heavy damage to that truck. As you see, the 41 truck used up there, Connor Jones.
Connor, who we saw making that large contact into the turn 4 wall, Mikey, and man, Loudon is a place to where when you get sideways here, you know that it's going to be difficult to keep it off the wall, and some big impacts.
Let's look back at the moment.
There's a little contact by the 62 of Christopher into Eckes, and it shot Christian up. Did you think Connor might have been? That just looked like a racing deal.
And it's happened a little bit prior to that, but so often at Loudon, Michael, we see that, right? Somebody goes down to the flat, you'll see trucks and almost getting all the way down by the grass at times. And
watch the 41 as the 62 bumps into the 16. But and then the 16 turns up into the 41. It's just a racing deal there. The 62 didn't do anything overly aggressive. Made a little contact there, and unfortunately Connor Jones suffered the price.
Well, and you can see the 62 was following the line on the bottom of the racetrack, and he was thinking, okay, I'm in a good spot for exit here. But what happens at Loudon, you go up and almost dime in the middle of the corner. Christian Eckes had done that, and he was trying to get a run off of the corner to get to the inside of Connor Jones, and they just came together.
Ran out of room.
Under caution here in New Hampshire for the third time today for the incident involving Connor Jones. Welcome back to New Hampshire Motor Speedway. An absolutely beautiful day for racing. Modified race was earlier today. Now Craftsman Truck Series. We've got the Cup race coming up tomorrow. And it's playoff race, and it doesn't get better than this. Jamie Little, Regan Smith, Michael Waltrip with you. Caitlin Mincy, Amanda Busick on pit road, and we've got ourselves a lot of campers. I believe they're sold out, 3,000 campers here this weekend.
You saw in that shot, so just so much fun, the infield and the outfield at New Hampshire, and great race fans up in that area of the country, and I know Michael, as a driver, I used to love going up there. It was just a perfect place for a racetrack.
Remember when you'd leave Concord, New Hampshire, and you'd make your way through the woods and come down this little 2-lane road, and there she sat, the Magic Mile. What a beautiful facility, and these race fans absolutely love this racetrack and love NASCAR.
So pit road had opened when we stepped aside, and
had a couple takers.
Lane Riggs was a taker, so he came down pit road, got some tires.
And Michael, you and I were talking about it, Lane Riggs, as we see the chews going on right now, and Ty Majeski back to the bottom again. We saw him struggle with the wheel spin on the previous restart, but you and I talked about it. Lane Riggs, well, why would he come to pit road right there? Well, number one, he's going to try and flip the stage and see if he can't get in a better position as we start stage 2 in a little bit. And I know we've still got to get through these next 6-7 laps prior to that, but maybe be able to flip the stage. And he wasn't in a position where it looked like he would be able to get past Corey Heim. He doesn't need stage points. All he wants is those playoff points to continue on. So evidently him and Dylan Capello made the option to go ahead and do that.
Well, you called it in your Ram race preview about all the different flipping of the strategies that we were going to see, and we're going to see it all day long.
And worst case scenario was a caution about 10 laps to go on the stage, and that's what we got, a couple of them.
Guys, we were talking about Mike Christopher Jr. It was just on a roll, up lurking in the top 10. He got a restart violation on the last restart, so he has to start at the tail end. Here we go, drivers approaching the Echo Park Automotive restart zone. Once again, let's see it, Ty Majeski keeping in the gas. Much better job this time around, but Corey Heim gets it done. Chandler Smith all over his bumper, 3-4 wide behind him. Look at Andres Perez in the 44 on the bottom, picks up about 3 spots right there.
Wow. Great racing. Very, very aggressive racing. Look at Jake Garcia in that 13 truck just diving into the corner. Caden Honeycutt right there as well, wanting to get those stage points. We talked to him before the race, and that's what his plan was.
And really every driver that we look at in that shot, Michael, when you talk about Chandler Smith, you talk about Raja Caruth, Jake Garcia, Caden Honeycutt, they all need those points, and they're all right there with each other. So they're trying to offset each other in terms of those points right now.
Jake Garcia, the best he has been today, running in the 5th spot. He came into this race 14 points below the cut line, trying to make some hay. There he is at the top of your screen. Caution is out. 69 goes around. That's Derek White.
Looks like that truck might have a little fire.
Definitely, as we see clearly, some damage to the right rear. Not sure how he managed to find the contact there, but
The left front isn't that good either.
She just blow up, looks like there.
Possibly. Maybe is that the front tires locked up, Regan?
yeah, I mean, you see the tire marks on the track. The front tires definitely appeared to be locked up, and not sure if it was because he got to the brake pedal so hard because he knew he had a problem going into the
Yeah, maybe that was the deal. He smelled the smoke and knew he had a problem and locked up the tires.
Derek White, the Canadian driver, in the field for the 3rd time this season. As he climbs from his truck, we're under caution for the 4th time, and this will end stage 1.
I want to give an update on Daniel Hemrick. I was watching his lap times, guys. He's okay. That truck was running some competitive time, so as hard as he hit that wall, I think the Napa truck's going to be all right.
So with the end of stage number 1, that is Corey Heim's 18th stage win of 2025. We'll have pit stops on the other side of the break. See all that green. It's all about the playoff drivers in the top 10. Lane Riggs, remember, he already pitted, so he could stay out here. Corey Heim has not come in. Is it going to be Heim time? Again, we'll find out. Welcome back to the EJP 175. We're under caution for the 4th time. But as we mentioned, stage 1 ending under caution. Pit road will quickly open. Final lap of stage 1. There's been a lot that has happened. A lot of trucks have gone around. We've had a lot to dive into.
Well, we talked about it in our pre-race track description, how wild the restarts are going to be because of this crazy surface that these guys are racing on, and man, it's been all of that.
And we've got potential to mix it up again here after we finish this stage off and get set for the next restart, because there are some trucks that, based on the strategy and when they've pitted already, we would expect maybe could stay out. We know the top 6 are definitely going to pit right now as we sit here all the way back to Caden Honeycutt once the pits do open and they complete this stage. But it could mix it up and put some guys up front that have not been up there yet today on potentially older tires.
Yeah, I think Andres Perez and maybe Brent Cruz are going to be starting on row 1, and we saw Brent around backwards earlier today. So yeah, that just shows you how wild things have been today.
So it is officially official that Corey Heim picks up stage number 1. So you see there in the pylon, Grant Enfinger, Daniel Hemrick, Lane Riggs, 0 stage points there for them, and nobody clinches a spot in the round of 8 after stage 1, which there was an option. Daniel Hemrick could have done that.
I'm impressed. I really felt like Daniel was going to struggle, but I was watching lap times, Regan, and I think he's in the game still. So what could have been devastating for that team, I think they might have survived.
Team did a nice job taking their time fixing that truck up on the right side.
You know, of all the drivers, Jamie, that we're right around that cut line, we're looking right now at, you know, Chandler Smith in 2nd there, Raja Caruth in 3rd place right there, Jake Garcia right behind him in 5th, and Caden Honeycutt in 6th. They were the drivers that were the most nervous about that first stage, either trying to gain or lose those additional points that were available, and they all finished right there on top of each other. So we're starting to get just a little bit more clarity in terms of what each of these drivers are going to have to do as the race plays out. And you know, I would say Chandler Smith right now has maybe taken this from a, hey, we could point our way in potentially if everything goes perfect, to, hey, what do we have to do to win the race, because that's going to be our only path right now.
There's that beautiful 38 Long John Silver's Ford. It's got a lot of speed, but man, Corey Heim didn't fall off a bit during that first stage, did he, Regan? I know we had a lot of caution laps, but still solid run for that 11 truck.
Let's listen to Chandler Smith's radio.
But what is the point situation after stage points have been awarded right there?
Minus 15, right?
So we cut a decent chunk out of this. Need to keep posted on that more the more we get deeper into this race, so can't stay on top of that.
Yeah, he's being engaged. He wants to know where they stack up. Chandler Smith came in here in 10th in the final spot below the cut line, minus 24. So he's gaining on it, but he's going to have to do more than that as long as Corey Heim is running as well as he has. He's led all laps so far today, and they're headed your way, Caitlin.
Yeah, Chandler Smith saying really good balance, a little free on lateral drive, but he does like the truck. They're going to take a round and a half out of the left rear. He said it's definitely a lot better than it was yesterday. Now, Ty Majeski in that 98, he said the truck's okay. It's a little tight. I feel comfortable on entry. If I could get the lead, we'd be pretty good. He said, I don't want to pack her out. Air pressure adjustment only. Amanda.
71, his pit stop is underway. He told me that the truck doesn't need to be better. I need to be better. Rajah Caruth started this race in 12th, currently came into the pits 4th, and for Corey Heim, what a day for him. Scott Zipadelli told me that they were into the office at 9 o'clock every night this week. To be a championship team, it starts right here.
Thank you, Amanda. Job well done by Caden Honeycutt's team. Gains him 5 spots on pit road. You see Chandler Smith loses 3 spots on pit road. We'll shake it all out, get the restart, and the start of stage number 2 that's coming up next. Welcome back to New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Just had our first round of stops for many of our drivers, and things have been shuffled up, gentlemen. Look at the front of this pack now. Andres Perez, Brent Cruz, first playoff drivers, Daniel Hemrick back in 8th. Here we go once again as the drivers approach the Echo Park Automotive restart zone. A little bit squirrely, he hangs on to it. Look at Ben Rhodes ducking out on the inside, 3 wide into turn 1.
I've been waiting for it. There it was, finally 4 wide. We talked about it. These restarts are nuts. Ben Rhodes down at the bottom. Look at that big, bold move.
Christian Eckes,
oh, that's
contact. The 7, Patrick Emmerling, hang on to it.
What a squeeze play.
Look at that, 3-4. They might have been 5 wide back there, Michael.
Oh, please sort out. Corey Heim's especially saying please sort out. He restarted 14th. You can see the 11 truck there on the inside. He's making his way nicely through this mess.
And I like what Corey's been doing since the restart. We've seen him on the very bottom of the racetrack trying to utilize those 4 fresh tires that he's got on. Not a lot of lap difference in terms of green flag laps between him and the guys that are at the front of the pack right now, but enough to make a difference as he continues to just make moves to the bottom.
See Caden Honeycutt there just behind the 11 truck. He took right sides only. So did Daniel Hemrick. We mentioned they made some spots up on pit road. That's the reason why. There's Hemrick right there, just went through your screen. The 19 just behind Matt Crafton.
This is amazing to me. He hit that wall pretty good, and this truck is just still very competitive. See racing along behind Christian Eckes there. A couple of Napa trucks battling it out.
Michael, you talked about the damage. She said, wheel is straight, it seems pretty good. So that's great news for Daniel Hemrick fans.
Wow, he avoided a major mess there. You look how tight and close things are here.
I love those bumper cam shots when they're side by side in New Hampshire, and from the driver's perspective, as we see Corey Heim trying to get another position right here, it's just so difficult to complete passes, and you want to get as close to the quarter panel of the truck in front of you to slow them down every little bit, but then you don't have that extra space off the corner to let your truck unwind up to the wall and keep the momentum going forward.
Battle for 7th right there. Caden Honeycutt says, I want a piece of this. The outside of Corey Heim.
And Jamie, that's especially what happens here. You go to make the move as Corey Heim did on Daniel Hemrick there. But it allows the truck behind you to have the momentum down the straightaway when they're bunched up like this. And now he's going to actually lose a position to Caden Honeycutt as they go into turn 3 because of that. And he's going to have to hope they don't line up on the outside of him here, and he can get back up to the top.
Most dominated the first the first stage of this race, and now you can see how competitive things are when you get back there in traffic, how tight things are. And what someone that's really liking what he's seeing is Chandler Smith. He's got right there in his sights the 11 truck of Corey Heim, and he knows that's the guy he's going to have to probably beat at the end of this thing to get the victory, and he's just about there.
Just on the bumper of his teammate Lane Riggs. Haven't talked a lot about Lane Riggs today, on a little bit different strategy, had him shuffled back.
Yeah, Lane pitted at the lap 45 caution, took the option to pit there and try to flip the stage, and don't think the restart after we got done with the stage went quite the way that Lane wanted to. You would expect him to be up in front of these guys just a little bit based on that. And, it was a mess back there, Michael, and the mess didn't work out for him.
Great battle for 2nd between teammates. Brent Cruz, that's Gio Ruggiero in the 17. Such impressive speed by this young man, Michael. Week in and week out, we talk about him. Didn't make the playoffs, just missed it, but he's battling up there with the best of them.
And same with Dawson Sutton. He's just gotten better and better all year long. You can see him battling right inside of the top 5 with the old veteran, Matt Crafton, heating up his tailgate.
Christian Eckes, didn't we talk about him being involved in an incident earlier? Started in the back of the pack to begin with, and now he's up to 6, just behind this pack. There he is.
Brent Cruz in that one truck, he went around, he was in an incident, and there you see Eckes got into the back of Matt Crafton. He's been in a crash. We've already talked about our man Daniel Hemrick and how he hit the wall. He's recovered.
It sure has shuffled before the end of that stage. Regan, Michael, it was all green and red on the top for the top 10 for the most part, and now it's shuffled because of the pit stops.
And these drivers are taking note of that. They're paying attention to what just happened there, depending on how the next stage break happens, and teams as well, in terms of when they want to pit, how they want to pit, and what they think the best option is going to be to get them to the end of the race.
What a view of these trucks that we were seeing right out front. Now they're all in the pack, just doing battle side by side.
Heim there led the first 56 laps of this race in the 9th spot now. I'm gonna give a shout out to him. He raced the Cup Series car last week at Bristol. 7th career start, and he finished 6th. Well done by him.
And watch Chandler Smith, though. I like the way that truck's turning around the bottom. He's really able to hook the bottom.
Little contact with Matt Crafton there. Matt Crafton feels like a punching bag these past couple laps. Everybody's making a little contact.
Well,
with
Corey
him.
said, I'll join the party. He hit him in the back. Matt doesn't mind that contact, though. It shoved him ahead. But watch that 38 truck, how low he can get and how fast he's able to accelerate.
3 wide for a moment there on the exit of the corner, and Crafton unfortunately got the worst out of that 3 wide, losing 2 positions.
Heim, 8 wins this year, racing Chandler Smith, who's picked up 2 wins this season in his first year back in the Truck Series. And you have Lane Riggs back there, a 3-time winner already, but he's punched his ticket to the round of 8. There he is.
Man, those trucks are really, really dead even around this racetrack.
And impressive from Chandler Smith. Michael, you talked about him being able to run the bottom, but so often once you get a couple laps on tires, you don't see trucks able to stay side by side, especially when we're talking what we think are 2 of the best trucks in the field potentially right here. And you'd say, well, why are they racing so hard and not just trying to get through the traffic? Well, they know that they don't want to have to pass each other when they get back to the front of the field if they're able to during this stage.
And there's Honeycutt on those 2 tires, holding his own, and up ahead of him, Daniel Hemrick's up to 6th. This is a great run for Dawson Sutton, too. So many cool names. You know, when you flip the stages, you get to see some faces up toward the front that you don't usually see. This is awesome to show you the talent of some of these racers.
Well, you mentioned it, Andres Perez right there in the 44 truck. Swap teams mid-season. Here he is leading his first laps ever in the Craftsman Truck Series. We'll be back from New Hampshire after this. for the lead for the EJP 175 is heating up. Andres Perez trying to hold off a hard-charging Gio Ruggiero, trying with all of his might. What a battle up front.
This is Gio's home track. He said he started racing Bandolero cars here when he was just 17 years old. There's a little quarter-mile track. Remember they set it up down in 1 and 2 and you could run around there? That's how he got started, and this is just this has got to be a dream come true for that young racer.
How much fun, Michael, if he could get up here and grab the lead at his home track. And we saw as we were going to break, he was starting to reel in Andres Perez and finish closing that gap up, was able to get to the back bumper as we were coming back from break there. And this is going to be a heck of a battle here. If he can get side by side with him, then he's got to make sure he doesn't overdrive the corner when he gets down to the next one.
Yeah, it's so tempting with these tight turns and being right there with the guy to give him a little nudge. But so far, Gio's kept it clean and just battling really hard behind the 44 truck of Perez.
Gio Ruggiero from Seekonk, Massachusetts, the 20-year-old. You see, he started back there in 14th today, and he has been on rails. Team getting it done, strategy, pit road. Just waiting and waiting for his opportunity to try to get around the 2024 ARCA Menard Series champion, Andres Perez.
You get to this level of racing, Regan, you're going to have to beat champions. You're going to have to beat kids that have won at everything they've ever done up to this point. And that's what makes it so fun to watch these young racers become a part of the NASCAR landscape.
And as we're watching Andres Perez here put a little bit more of a gap onto Gio right now, I don't think we can say enough good things about what he's doing. A new team for him, only a few races under their belts, and to have that truck out front, looks like he made a little bit of an adjustment in terms of the line that he's been running on the racetrack once Gio Ruggiero caught him. And that's what you want to see out of a young driver leading a race like this. Make the adjustment, figure out a way to keep yourself up there.
And he has a veteran crew chief in Wally Rogers making a big difference for Andres Perez over there. The 20-year-old out of Mexico City, Mexico. Let's listen to Ty Majeski's radio.
Look at how we can go from one of the best trucks here. We get in traffic and we stuck. And the guys that we're better than can just drive right through the field. Like, we have a huge traffic issue with these trucks. Huge.
Not happy. Ty Majeski back in 18th.
Well, he knows how, this is his bread and butter. We've watched him just be so good on the short tracks, good everywhere, but especially the shorter flat tracks. And oh, what about this squeeze play?
Mike Christopher Jr. says, excuse me, coming through. He has passed more trucks today.
And if Ty was angry prior to those two passes that are getting made on him right now, he's going to be even more angry. But that's something we worried about, Michael. When we saw the field get shaken up like it did right there, it's more contact off of turn 2. These guys are battling so hard right now. But as we saw the field get shaken up right there, it's which truck is going to be able to get through the traffic? Who's going to be able to make the moves? Who's going to be able to deal with the balance shift that happened to the truck? And that's exactly what Ty's frustrated with. We heard Caitlin on his pit stop say they changed one round in the left rear. Evidently, it just wasn't going to work for traffic.
How about this lead? They aren't going anywhere. Gio wants it. He can taste this lead. Hasn't been able to take it away from Perez yet. 25 laps to go in stage number 2.
Look at that. Andres is hanging on to that baby, isn't he? Gio's liking what he's seeing. Keep the pressure on him. Try to make him overheat those rear tires and finally make your way by. That's what Gio's thinking.
Showing a lot of patience right now, too.
Yeah, and I love the shots. You can really see how hard these drivers are working. It is not easy out there, even when you're at the front of the field and think you've got everything going just right. You are nonstop under battle in that truck with trying to keep that right rear tire underneath you at a place like Loudon.
Got a 19-year-old, a couple 20-year-olds leading this field.
How about that? I just love it.
Meanwhile, Corey Heim has made his way up to the top 5.
Here we go. Is he going to get there?
It's the best run that he's had in a while down the back straightaway of the times they've been side by side.
Into turn 3.
Those trucks bounce around as they enter turn 3. People say that's a really challenging part of this racetrack. Under heavy braking, hit all those bumps, and then try to stay off the guy you're passing.
Into turn 1. Can he get it done here?
And what Gio's looking for right here is to get another good exit off of turn 2. If he can go into turn 3 with maybe a wheel out in front of Andres Perez, then he can take a little liberties when he gets to the corners. He can move up the track more, but he's not going to be able to do it. And again, this is everything that we talk about, Loudon. This is the challenge there, is completing that pass even if you're better.
You know who's loving seeing this? Dawson Sutton. He's
reeling him back in.
He said, "You boys keep it up. I'll be right there." He's got that 26 truck running great today.
Battle of the rookies, all 3 of them. First year full-time in the Truck Series, putting on a heck of a show for all of us watching.
Christian Eckes, the veteran of this group, 24 years old, back there in the 4th spot.
The
How
wily veteran.
about that?
He's grown up and moved on. He's in the Xfinity Series. They're not racing this weekend, so he came back to join us in the trucks.
There's Corey Heim making his way back toward the front. You wonder how tough treading is here. Corey's done a nice job, but man, he's still not quite there yet.
20 laps to go in stage number 2. Andres Perez has led 34 laps. He hangs on to the lead just barely over Gio Ruggiero. We're going to step aside, but you won't miss a thing. We're going box side by side. The battle for the lead rages on. Can he get it done here? Gio Ruggiero has been wearing out the bumper of Andres Perez. Hasn't gotten it done yet as Perez continues as the leader here in New Hampshire.
And Andres Perez, we mentioned earlier, if Gio could just get a little further up alongside him going into the corner, that he'd be able to take liberties. But Andres Perez is doing a great job of really driving the truck deep into the corner to take that move away from Gio Ruggiero and not give him the option to wash up and take him out of the lane he wants to be in.
It's the closest he's been, guys. Can he get it done right here?
He said he had so much of his family and friends, people he's raced with, here watching him run. This has got to be the greatest feeling for this young kid ever.
A little extra incentive for Gio Ruggiero. Here he goes. The front stretch, can he get it done? Going into turn 1.
Just trying to get the power down and keep his truck turning right there. But you see that momentum on the outside lane continues to prevail right now for Andres Perez.
Lap truck of Tony Breidinger, she's going a lap down here. I wondered if it'd be a factor. It looked like maybe Gio rode off the gas, knowing that they would have traffic. Seeing if an opportunity opened up. They'll clear Tony. She goes a lap down.
Dawson Sutton remains back there in third. Nice battle here for Ty Majeski. We heard how he was not happy with that truck, the way it was handling in traffic. Caden Honeycutt just behind him. That's 13th and 14th.
But I'll tell you, Jamie, since he said that, he's driven past some trucks, he's gotten some clean racetrack, and he puts up the second or third fastest lap time about every time around. So I know he said he liked that truck a lot when it was not in traffic. Now that he's not, is paying off.
And the flip side of this conversation, Caden Honeycutt, we saw him up inside the top 10 after that restart, but keep in mind, he took those 2 tires, and it appears those 2 tires are not working out. He has done nothing but fade here for the last 15 or 20 laps as he goes further back into the pack, and everybody on pit road will take note of that, right? 2 tires, maybe not an option unless it's the very end of the race, perhaps.
Remember, Daniel Hemrick in the 19 took right sides as well. He's in 9th right now, kind of holding steady. Caitlin, let's get an update on Caden Honeycutt.
Yeah, Regan, to your point, he just came on and said, I have no left rears left. So he's a little unhappy with that right now. But I did talk to him about this race specifically. He felt like, given the fact that a lot of competitors don't have experience here, he felt like this could be an equalizer of sorts. Caution on track, Jamie.
Patrick Emmerling in the 7 truck goes around. That'll bring out our 5th caution of the day.
And Regan, you did it to us again.
I don't know what happened. We just lost the right front man.
He was running up in the 11th spot, doing a great job, but that truck is bent up.
He mentioned right front. It looks like the right rear actually is what's down on that truck. The right front appeared to be up on that glance that we had briefly.
Here we go again with strategies.
This is worst case scenario, Michael. 10 laps to go. What do we do?
That 7 truck is in the owner's championship hunt. So
Regan, it's funny, we were talking earlier and I was like, I don't know what I would do, and we call our crew chief buddies and say, what are you going to do? I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, I don't know if they won't tell us, or they really, I think it just depends on so many different circumstances around what lap it is, where the competition is, how many points you need. I mean, there's just so many factors that go into it.
And I think, Michael, that based on what we've seen so far in this stage, right, that you're almost going to have to, if you're in the top 10, plan to come to pit road if you want any chance to win the race or get a good result at the end of the race. But then when you look at some of the guys, maybe a Caden Honeycutt in 13th, I know he has no left rear left and he's not happy, but if you can have the opportunity to leapfrog back up to and restart on the front row, cool your tires down a little bit, get some stage points that you weren't otherwise going to get, do you have to maybe be tempted with that just a little bit?
Tempted a little bit, but you also don't want to be the guy on the island. You know, everybody else comes in behind you and all the fresh tires line up right on your tailgate. So, so many different, like I said, so many factors are going to play into this decision. It's going to be really interesting.
how about those youngsters up front? They're finally, their tongues have got to be hanging out. What a battle they put on. As we have just 8 laps to go in stage number 2. Andres Perez led 46 laps here in this stage. First laps led in the truck series.
But there were several trucks, Jamie, clicking off faster laps than our leader. I know they were having that battle. See if they open up the pit road.
Pit road is open.
Corey Heim
All
took
the
this
leaders.
chance.
Caitlin.
Well, for Gio Ruggiero, first time here, pretty good for showing for that team. Right now, he said it's just tight on the front end and snappy loose for that 17 truck. Amanda.
Yeah, Caitlin, don't you just love seeing all the airtime that these rookies just earn for themselves? For Andres Perez, he has just gelled with this Nice Motorsports team. They told me that they have a nickname for him now, Andy. Him and Wally Rogers have really hit it off. And for Corey Heim, he told his team, I'm right where I need to be. Look out, competition. Does feel a little tight in traffic, but no changes to that truck, only tires.
Corey Heim happy with his truck. The battle off pit road, 4 tires all around Perez. Hold serve, job well done by that Nice Motorsports team. 1 spot lost by Gio Ruggiero. He slips back to 3rd overall. We'll sort it all out. We'll choose, and we'll drop the green flag again. Stay with us. We're live from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Welcome back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. The last 4 winners here. You got to go back a ways, guys. Cole Custer, 2014. Austin Dillon, 2015. Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Willie
Young
B.
Willie B in 2016.
Look at how young they all look.
And C. Bell, the last winner here at New Hampshire in the Truck Series. What do those drivers all have in common?
We'll see them tomorrow.
They're all racing on Sundays. All right. So 2 drivers decided to stay out. Raja Caruth leading the field right now. One of them, Blake Lothian, the other one.
He retreated, so Raja Caruth is going to start on the front row with those. I said the island, Regan. He's sitting on it. He's the only guy up there that doesn't have fresh tires.
And I think the one thing you got to look at for Raja, he was running 10th when the yellow came out. He puts himself up on the front row, opportunity to try and get a good restart. Can he hold that, Michael? I don't know. It's going to be a challenge to hold that position with these guys on fresh tires, but even if you stay in the top 5, it's been a gain in points for them, and that's got to be what Bono Mannion's thinking.
And think about these restarts we've seen. They're wild. What would be his best friend right now is
a quick yellow.
Have them mess up as we go into turn 1, and let's just end this stage right now.
It'll be 3 laps to go, a 3-lap shootout to end stage 2. Raja Caruth on the outside. Andres Perez, great job on pit road. Second.
Look at Corey Heim, dives in there.
Takes a look.
I just don't see this working for Raja.
Raja washes up the track, already gives up 2 positions. Andres Perez back to the lead. Here comes Corey Heim. Winner of the stage picks up a playoff point. Corey Heim to the front, led the first 56 laps of this race. Got mired back in practice,
trouble.
and there was contact. Was that Chandler Smith?
That was Chandler and I think Gio Ruggiero, and that's a big deal for Raja. They were all over him.
Raja just trying to hang on right there.
'38 tries to get in a hole that wasn't there, crowded Ruggiero in the wall. Now they're teaming up on Raja.
And fortunate that wasn't a larger incident than what it was, as we see 3 wide here. Raja trying everything he can, Michael, to hold these guys off, and it's not quite going his way here.
Final lap of this stage. Raja just trying to hang on, trying to get those points by stage end. Only the top 10 get points.
Could be a net gain for Raja, though, if he hangs in there for 2 more turns.
Corey Heim picked up the first stage. He'll pick up the second stage. Andres Perez hangs on to second. Chandler Smith, Gio Ruggiero, Lane Riggs, top 5.
Raja did gain a couple of points there, Regan, by that strategy. That's a great call by the team.
And you got to be happy if you're Bono Mannion right now.
Corey Heim gets it done. Once again, wins another stage. He's on fire. Can he hold on? Something new for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Our next race is at the Charlotte Roval, guys. We're going road course racing. That's on October 3rd at 3:30 Eastern on FS1. Looking forward to that.
And we have seen the Charlotte Roval breed some serious excitement over the years. That's you put the truckers on that racetrack, and man, Michael, it could get very wild.
Yeah, you can tell these guys don't mind pushing each other around, is what we've seen today. It's been so interesting to watch these guys battle and use the stage breaks as strategy opportunities and how this will play out. I know Raja did a nice job there. I said he gained 3 points because of staying out, but Regan, we're going to put him back there in the mess. He's going to restart deep in the field here. See all those trucks staying out.
Here we go. There's Raja Karuth, who stayed out.
Raja's hoping to see some more trucks behind him coming to pit road because
Daniel Hemrick, who had right sides only.
Daniel's saying, I got a little bit more speed than you on pit road, Raja.
Amanda.
Yeah, and what Raja really wants to see are those fresh tires going onto that truck. I got over here to see Kevin Mannion after that call, a strategy of keeping Raja out. Gave him a little bit of a thumbs up, and he threw his hands in his air and gave a nice sigh. He did say that on the radio to Raja, great job there, because Raja was concerned on that stop. And for Daniel Hemrick, you go back to what happened earlier in the race. What are you guys seeing?
Man, I've just seen a heck of a performance. That was heavy contact in the wall. He's done a great job, that team has. And Raja might have driven the 5 laps of his life right there in that mess.
Absolutely. Third and final stage coming at you from New Hampshire next. Welcome back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race, live from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Well, it's official. 2 more drivers advancing to the round of 8. That's Ty Majeski, the 98, and the 19 of Daniel Hemrick. They have now turned red. Let's check in quickly with Caitlin.
Well, one driver is still hoping to advance is Chandler Smith. John Leonard, the crew chief for him. Lots of conversation on the radio about the points. What is the approach for this team the rest of the way?
I mean, I think the plan is to go in, right? I feel like the truck and driver are capable of doing that. I feel like we maximized our day and got a bunch of points today that's helped out. I feel like there's a way that we can point our way in still. But I feel like we want to go prove a point, and we just need to go take a checker, so handle it ourselves.
Thanks for your time. Good luck the rest of the way. Jamie?
Love that answer. Chandler Smith right now sits third, and right now, guys, he is barely sitting on the cut line, doing a nice job so far today.
Just an update on Tony Breidinger. We saw her go a lap down. She got the free pass, so she's back on the lead lap. So good job by her and that team.
And we've seen how crazy, Michael, these restarts have been all day long, and we know Chandler Smith starting on the bottom. What's on the line for him right now? This will be the easiest time in this run that he can make this pass on Corey Heim. How aggressive does he get here?
Corey Heim has led the most laps so far today, continues leading here from the outside.
Chandler tried to anticipate it a bit there on the bottom, gave up a couple of truck lengths there, but he's getting them back in a hurry. Look at that truck. You saw how good it was on fresh tires around the bottom. See if he can take advantage of that.
3 wide just behind him. There's Gio Ruggiero. Guys, Lane Riggs is entering the conversation.
Tried to squeeze Perez up there. They made contact. You saw the smoke, but Lane is there.
Lane up to third. Joy has done a really nice job today in the 77. There he is for Spire Motorsports. Not in the championship hunt, but, you know, trying to make a splash.
Haven't talked a lot about him today, and that's kind of the type of day you want to have, Jamie, running in the top 5, coming down towards the end of the race, final stage here. We see Grant Enfinger trying to make a move to the outside of Ty Majeski, and 3 wide down the middle. There we go. Just get him out of the way.
Up the track goes Andres Perez. The 9 of Grant Enfinger. He has been buried, guys. For most of this race, it's good to see him on the mend. He's going forward, made some good adjustments to that truck, up to 8th.
Bailey Curry is coming along with them in that 45 truck. So great run here late for those two.
Look at that. Just since the restart, Chandler Smith is out by 2 now.
Yeah, the challenge for Chandler Smith here is he can only gain 1 more position. That would put him to win the race if he does gain that, which would see him find his way through. The issue is the 71 Raja Karuth restarted right around 20th, all the way up to 15th already. He has a lot of spots he can still gain, and Chandler just doesn't have that ability right now based on only 1 truck in front of him.
Corey Heim yesterday, Michael, we heard him in the interview, just, I don't know what I need in this truck. We're fast, but it falls off, and I don't know what it's supposed to feel like. Well, they certainly went to work. He's been kind of all over, led a lot of laps early. They were mired mid-pack, and now here he is back to leading. Trying to pick up win number 9 on the season.
Like Christopher Jr. there in the truck on the high side. Brent Cruz had that incident early. He's making his way against Matt Crafton here. Raja's picking up spot after spot, Regan.
Certainly picking those spots up, Michael, but man, he's in that hornet's nest that we've talked about so many times today when you do have to restart further back in the field, and these guys have not gotten this one all single fouled out yet. They haven't quit arguing over all these spots.
Wanting to give a big push here to Cruz, get him on up the road.
Battle for 14th right here. And there's Jake Garcia.
A nice job by Raja Cruz as he got into turn 1, being able to not only gain that position, but also get to the bottom to allow him to try and attack Brent Cruz through that corner, and as well as 3 and 4 when he gets down here.
Christopher Jr. right there. That 62 truck doing just an incredible job. Already up 4 spots since the restart. First time here in the Truck Series. He's a modified driver, raced this morning.
Just a full day of racing at New Hampshire from a driver perspective. Nothing more fun.
I was going to say, isn't that
Start
what you
off
want?
at 9 and go all day.
And he was running 4th on the final restart, guys, and his engine let go, so Christopher ended up 16th this morning. Look at this battle side by side. Grant Enfinger, Caden Honeycutt.
Battle for 6th. Grant's just done a nice job getting better all day long. It's got to be a boost of confidence for he and his new crew chief, showing that they can get the job done here in the playoffs.
And definitely what you want to see, right? And appears they're in a good spot barring something crazy to be able to advance to the next round. And you got to build on that now as you go into the next round, because it only gets tougher from here on out.
See Majeski just behind Infinger. He's cleared some of that traffic that was causing him so much heartburn earlier. He's got a strong truck right now. I know this is going to be a surprise to our viewers at home, but so far it looks like Corey Heim's pretty dominant. Is that a fair statement?
You're going out on a limb right now.
Did you pick him to win?
Oh, trouble.
33 goes around Tyler Tomasi. Caution comes out for the 7th time. Big impact. Super late model racer. A little bit of experience here at this track. We'll have to see what exactly happened. Tyler was running 26th at the time of that impact. So under caution here, 48 laps to go. Trying to get it fired and back to pit road. Corey Heim continues as your leader. And we're back at New Hampshire under caution for the 7th time for contact between Spencer Boyd and Tyler Tomasi.
Spencer down on the bottom, his truck washes up. We've seen that today already, and unfortunately Tyler was there to take the brunt of it.
And a tough spot to, to get turned around. You're not expecting it, and there's really only a few ways you can save that when you get turned around right there, and it's either to jump on the gas pedal and burn them down and hope it stays off the wall, and just really tough to get the speed knocked down, as we see the tire mark right there on Spencer Boyd's truck, and unfortunate for both those drivers.
Talking about our pylon, looks like a Christmas tree over there. Less than 100 days to Christmas, by the way, but who's counting?
I got that countdown this week from my wife, Jamie, and yep.
What happens when you have 3 kids, Regan?
You start a countdown early, evidently.
So Corey Heim leads here, 45 to go. Chandler Smith, and we get to see another restart.
And you know, thinking about the drivers on the cut line, right? You got Chandler Smith currently sitting 7 points back right now from Raja Caruth on the cut line. Raja's back in 13th, and this is going to work out different for both of these drivers. Chandler Smith looking at this as an opportunity, another opportunity to try and figure out a way to get past Corey Heim on a restart. The bottom line has been very difficult today. Looks like just enough dirt and debris down there to where they're just not getting the launch that they want to really contend the position into turn one. The flip side of that, Jamie, is Raja Caruth back there in the hornet's nest still, as we keep talking about, and he's got to be so concerned about, what if somebody gets to my quarter panel? What if I get turned around? We don't need anything like that at this stage of the race.
Chandler Smith elected his option to go to the outside and start behind Corey Heim, maybe thinking, you know, better just to clear the trucks on the inside, have clean racetrack, and save those tires, and maybe mount a charge later.
So he gave up that spot. He'll restart the outside of the second row, and Gio Ruggiero, who's been so solid, this will be a good one to watch him nose to nose with his teammate at Tricon Garage, Corey Heim.
Also, Lane Riggs has just gotten better and better today. He's up in that top 5. Keep an eye on him.
Alongside his teammate. 2 playoff drivers. Here we go once again. Corey Heim has been lights out on the restarts today. Gio Ruggiero stays right there on the inside.
Oh, he's ever gonna be able to clear Chandler Smith. That didn't work out for him.
And he does. Lane Riggs trying to hang on to that spot, but Caden Honeycutt in the 52 is taking a look on the outside. Oh, trucks around Tony Breidinger, Matt Crafton, Ben Rhodes, caution.
Man, we just talked about Tony getting back on the lead lap.
Oh, Andres Perez is around, led 47 laps. What a mess.
That is a mess.
Heavy impacts to these trucks. We see the fluid out of Tony's truck going everywhere. That means the radiator's obviously knocked out of it, and
she got turned head on into that wall, it looks like, Regan. Look at that mess.
Tony Breidinger was 23rd at the time. Michael, you mentioned she had gotten back on the lead lap. And Matt Crafton, great speed early.
Ben Rhodes.
Oh, so much damage.
Wow, we talk about the restarts. We've talked about them repeatedly, and you said the hornet's nest, Regan, and this is what happens when you stir one up.
And whatever happened to Andres Perez looked like maybe it happened after the initial incident, and as he ended up all the way around in turn 4 where he was spun around. Doesn't look like a lot of damage to his truck, so see if he can't continue on the rest of the day and try and get back up there to complete off what was a good run early on.
Yeah, a very competitive truck today for Andres. Good to see that young racer have his time to shine.
So let's see what happened here.
Oh, wow.
Oh, hard impact straight on for Tony Breidinger. She's out, thumbs up to the crowd. You don't see Tony wrecked very often.
No, that's right. Let's see if we can see. It looked like she just got turned. I don't know if they were 3 wide.
She was on the bottom of 3 wide as they come into turn 3. Look at them at the top of the screen. It actually almost looked like they were trying to be 4 wide even briefly for a moment there.
Like, was Ben trying to get between them, and maybe the hole just closed? That's Ben Rhodes there in the orange truck. Matt Crafton.
Really tough to tell. We've seen a couple incidents like that today where a truck maybe thought they were more clear than they were going into the corner, and just, you know, didn't end like this one did, but unfortunately it just hooked her all the way around.
A lot of cleanup. So we'll step aside as they continue work on the track as we're under caution for the 8th time today. Welcome back to the EJP 175. We only have 4 races remaining in the season, guys. The round of 8 couldn't get more diverse here. Start with the Charlotte Roval, talked about that, then Talladega, then Martinsville, and then it's all about the championship race, the 1 mile oval at Phoenix Raceway. Certainly looking forward to that. And the playoff standings. Guys, these trucks are falling out one after another. 9 trucks out. What does that mean?
Well, the good news right now for Raja Karuth is he only has to finish 19th based on the points that he's gathered. And I think, Amanda, you've got his crew chief. What's Bono thinking?
Well, it's good news that he's racing in P12 at the moment, and Raja currently on that bump spot as you guys started today, 9 points to the good. But you've been so complimentary of Raja today, Bono. How well are you breathing right now?
Well, not good yet. I couldn't promise you that, but you know, our only race today was the couple guys were racing and keeping an eye on the 38 for sure. You know, watched his race back from last year at the Xfinity, and he ran well, and he's running well here. If he wins, we're out, basically. So we gained on the 52. That would be our next guy, but still, all we're racing really is a 38.
Well, hopefully we'll see you breathing better at the end of this.
I didn't hear a word you said.
I said hopefully we'll see you breathing better at the end of this.
Oh, yeah. No, that'd be great. So Raj's been doing a great job, Chevy, and this Hendricks Cars.com. It's been really good. So, yeah. It's just a little old car race up here in beautiful weather, New Hampshire. So,
good luck.
Thanks.
Beautiful weather.
So much that they're keeping track of. I love that he said they watched Chandler's race back from last year.
And Regan, we talk about the things we look at, the things we're thinking about. He's simplified things at this point. He knows he's got to watch what the 38 does, and he knows he just needs to maintain. That's a great feeling, knowing that what you got to do, and you can only control half of it.
I'm a big fan of simplifying things, Michael, and that's exactly what they've done.
Caitlin.
Well, another driver who's made things pretty simple is Gio Ruggiero. Jeremy Donnelly, crew chief for him, is with me now. What's impressed you most about Gio's performance today?
Well, he's done a really good job with his racecraft. I mean, it's a really tough place to pass. He's kept his cool there. You know, he could have moved the 44 out of the way a couple times, and he just did a really good job searching around. So it's a home race for him. He's put a lot of stress on himself, a lot of pressure on himself to perform today, but he's done a really good job showing up for his family and friends.
Good luck the rest of the way.
A lot of those fans in the stands behind him and the campers in New Hampshire are big Gio supporters, and I'm glad he's giving them something to cheer about.
Yeah, that team has been on it today as well. Well, it's a full day of college football, and it's on Fox as Bill Belichick leads North Carolina against UCF at 3:30 Eastern. Then at 7:30, Arizona State takes on Baylor, followed by a Big Ten battle between Michigan State and USC. That's all on Fox. Back here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, laps are dwindling on this beautiful day. We've had a lot of action, guys. We have 36 laps to go. We've been under caution 8 different times. Corey Heim leads, but there's a lot of unfinished business as we talk about this being the cutoff for the first round of the playoffs.
And we showed a moment ago the next round of the playoffs, Jamie, how exciting it's going to be. And I'm still sitting here thinking right now there's a few guys that have to find their way through this round. A lot can still go wrong today, you know, in terms of points. And even if you're Caden Honeycutt or Tyler Ankrum, you don't want to really let your guard down right now, because you could lose a chunk of points very quickly if you're not careful.
Yeah, because of the restarts. We've seen it all day long, just all over one another. This seems to be a benign 1 mile track, but it isn't. It's all about just full contact racing. And then the next round, I mean, you've got the biggest, fastest track, the tightest, smallest track, and then throw a road course in there between them.
Just why not, right? We'll throw a road course into that as well.
That's the only way that makes sense, you know? Let's have one of those in there too.
A lot to look forward to.
No doubt. It's been a great season.
See the different skill sets rise to the top. Turn left and right. 2 weeks at Charlotte, the Roval.
I think Raja just needs to maybe give an extra half a truck length to people. But if you do that, Regan, a lot of times you get used up and you wind up wrecking anyway. It's just so hard to figure out how to go about surviving.
And if these restarts aren't tough enough, Michael, take a look at what we got down in turn 3 and 4 right now. Just a little bit of speedy dry that we're going to have to go through. And you know where there's speedy dry, there was once oil, and the track teams do a great job of cleaning that up. But it still gets in the driver's head when you get down to that corner.
And you know what? Those spotters are burning up those radios right now. Just be ready for the speedy dry down in turn 3.
You see the choose here worked out much like the last one. Gio Ruggiero choosing on the bottom like he did previously. Did a fantastic job to get through turn 1 and 2, and he's had a lot of experience working the bottom and being inside of trucks today as he was trying to take the lead from Andres Perez earlier, but did a nice job of clearing Chandler Smith off of turn 2. That could be a big moment in Chandler Smith's race. He wants to be on the bumper of Corey Heim to have that opportunity to win after this restart.
We heard his crew chief talk about that 38 truck wins this race. Raja is out. Keep your eye on Chandler Smith. He's gotten it done twice this season. Pace car pulls off. Heim on the outside. Gio Ruggiero on the inside.
Great start for the 17, but a big push from behind as Chandler shoves Heim into turn 1.
Lane Riggs right there on the inside, trying to pick up that spot from Caden Honeycutt.
Chandler hung tough on the outside, Regan, just like you said.
That's exactly what he needed to do and learn from the previous restart. Was able to position himself a little bit better, and now he can go attack potentially as you see his teammate in the 34 Lane Riggs getting to the outside of Gio Ruggiero now as well.
There's Raja on the outside. He's got to like where he's at right now. Single file ahead of him. Oh well, let's gain another spot. Very aggressive, a little bit fresher tires.
That's a battle for 9, Michael. So doing exactly what he needs to do, just gaining spots every opportunity he gets. The one thing is, as we see him lose a spot right now, but had been gaining spots. The one thing he's got to have concern with is what is going on with Chandler Smith up in the front. Otherwise, he can stay right where he's at and be good today.
Raja in 10th right there as he battles another couple playoff drivers. Tyler Ankrum on the outside. This is the closest Chandler Smith has been to Corey Heim up front. Just as I say that, Heim puts the hammer down 0.3 of a second over the 38.
But you know, with 31 to go right here, Chandler Smith is going to be driving every one of these laps like a qualifying lap. And again, the challenge for him is that Corey Heim has been so perfect all season. We rarely see him put a wheel wrong on the racetrack, and we know that it's going to take something special to get up there and get by him.
Well, last time by, the truck in 3rd position, Lane Riggs, as you see a big slip there by Raja, but Lane Riggs was the fastest truck on the track. He put about 1/10 of a second on our leader, Corey Heim. Things got a little bit testy there for Raja, doing battle inside of Ankrum.
Raja gave up that spot. Back to 12th now.
This is what we were talking about. Raja trying to stay on the bottom. Looks like it slips up on him a little bit there, Regan. It gets sideways.
And that he was loose even really before he got all the way loaded up and into the corner there on entry. And it happens so frequently here, right? We've seen it numerous times today. It happened again right there. Fortunately, a good job of getting it back underneath him and minimizing the damage.
Look at Christopher Jr. right there hanging in that 12th spot.
What a day for him.
No kidding.
Making his debut. Raced the mods earlier today. Stuart Frieson's got to be a pretty happy fella right now, overseeing his 2 trucks, both of them doing a great job.
Michael Christopher Jr., 26 years old. Hear that he might be back in the truck at Phoenix, perhaps, and he's earning it today as he goes inside the 71 of Raja Karuth.
Raja needs to start giving people some space, wouldn't you say, Regan?
If I'm spotter Eddie DeHaan or crew chief Ono Manning, I'm reminding him of the situation right now, and maybe if you're driving at 110%, let's take it back to 100%, and let's just be smart for these remaining 27 laps, and we'll accomplish what the goal was when the day started.
Corey LaJoie's continuing his strong run, battling inside of Honeycutt. Looks like Caden's going to get the better of it on the outside. Here comes Majeski. We've watched him sort of make his way slowly through the field after getting mired back in traffic.
We've heard him on the angry side earlier in the race, and now he's worked his way back forward. We may maybe we'll get to see him on the happier side here as we get towards the end of it.
Well, let's try this again.
Tyler Ankrum wants to take that spot back from Raja Karuth. That's for 10th.
Having to work that throttle.
That throttle, and that is all these trucks, and especially as this run goes on, just working that throttle to try and get that power down and not spin the tires.
Bit of a dive there for Raja. He's going to make it work.
25 laps to go here. Not missing anything up front. Corey Heim, 8/10 of a lead over Chandler Smith. Lane Riggs just behind them. Gio Ruggiero, Grant Enfinger.
Mike Christopher Jr. trying to take that 11th place away from the 18 truck. Tyler hanging on the outside. Got to be really proud of this effort today. Learning so much, Regan. You know what it's like just to show up and learn how to drive a truck, first of all, and then learn the competition, who you're battling with, what's their tendencies.
Well, and especially when you can battle right around the top 10, of course, just outside of the top 10 right now in 12th, but when you can battle around drivers that are up towards the front of the field, you learn even quicker, Michael, and you understand what the competition level is and where they're positioned in the trucks, what their trucks are doing different than yours, so the next time you hop back in one, you can really equate that out even more quickly as a driver.
It was really interesting listening to him in an interview after practice yesterday. He said, I thought I was going to be better than this. It was really, the frustration and how much confidence you have in yourself. And it just, you look at the scoring pylon and you're 26. You're like, I'm better than that.
It can be humbling quick.
But he's proven today that he is indeed better than that.
I loved his confidence. I mean, never been in a truck before, and he's like, why are we this far back? I expected to be much better, but he's racing so well. Just looking like a veteran out there.
Look at the trucks he's ahead of. Daniel Hemrick right there.
Jake Garcia, haven't mentioned him. He fell off earlier, back in 17th. He's in that final spot in the playoffs of 10th, 26 points back.
Yeah, it just hasn't worked out the way that Jake needed it to today, and maybe had a little bit of track position early in the race, but unfortunately it has not stayed for him.
Corey Heim's had another one of those days. He's led 103 laps and counting. As he crosses the line, we've reached our Craftsman, 20 laps to go. Corey swept both stages today. It's just been incredible to witness. He's led in every single race this year. This is the 21st race of the season.
And Corey has done a really nice job today in a couple of situations. Think back to the start of stage 2 when he was mired back in traffic, restarted 14th and did a nice job of saying, okay, I'm going to get to the bottom and give myself options to try and get by guys and gain track position back as quick as I can. He did that, checked that box. He's done everything that he needs to, and I know that we've come to expect that out of him this year and last year as well, but just continuing to show why he is the favorite in this championship.
And Chandler Smith is looking at every move he makes and say, come on, man, slip a wheel. Let me see that back end get hung out a little bit, because he is pacing right on track, lap after lap with Corey Heim. Just can't close the deficit.
It's back and forth. One lap, one of them's the quickest. The next lap, the next one, Michael. And it just got to be frustrating for Chandler to be able to see that carrot dangling up there and can't quite get to it. And his teammate Lane Riggs, as we showed, doing a great job, still in third as well.
The only thing Chandler Smith can do right now, as long as Raja stays where he is win the race. And he's got to get around Corey Heim to do it. And why is that? Because the first 2 races of this round, Chandler Smith finished 30th, so he had a big hole to dig out of. He has done everything he possibly can to this point.
And that, one of the challenges to this playoff format, Jamie, is if you do have two problems, right? We had the issues at Darlington with the wall and having some contact there, and then compound that with the issues last week with the ECU and the problems they had at Bristol with that, and fast trucks, both times he had those problems. And I think a lot of people would say this is probably one of the 4 or 5 fastest trucks in the field on any given weekend. And that's why it's so tough to win a championship.
See the playoff standings as they run right now. Chandler Smith out by 10. Raja Caruth in by 10. Raja back there in the 10th spot.
Raja Caruth. Just log 16.
Just keep it clean. We just got to finish.
I was just going to say, let's just log 16 more laps and we're going to be on to the next round.
And that's exactly what I want to hear from the spotter in that moment. As a driver, I want to hear him reminding me, just keep it clean. You see the gap that he's got out front, roughly about a second and a half gap behind him. So nobody to worry about behind you. And the 71 truck saying keep it clean, and everybody else keep it clean as well, not just us.
We don't really want to restart, do we? That's what Raja's thinking.
Raja Caruth, the 23-year-old out of Washington, D.C., got his second career win earlier this season at Nashville.
Oh.
Whoa, sideways. That got him in this position to have a shot to go for the championship.
And if the team's watching on the pit box, as we know that they are, they're thinking a little bit less of that, Raj. We don't want any more of that right now.
Spotter's able to come in and say, did you hear me? Let's take it easy.
Meanwhile, up front, Corey Heim continues to lead by a second and a half over Chandler Smith. Chandler just having a heck of a time making up any ground on that 11 truck.
Yeah, the report from that truck yesterday was he was very confident in his short run speed, but was worried about the long run. I think the adjustments made overnight and his driving has taken care of any of those worries right now.
And I think the one thing that Corey Heim could see up in front of him, right, and not overly concerning, but there is a little bit of lap traffic you see in the bottom of the screen there that he will come across here at some point, and maybe 3 or 4 trucks that he could potentially catch here in these next 12 laps, and just cleaning with it, or dealing with that lap traffic cleanly, making the right moves and not giving up any time. You don't want to allow Chandler Smith to get anywhere near that back bumper and you know, don't give him the opportunity to do anything you don't want him to do.
Yeah, like you said, Regan, that last time by, Chandler Smith knocked about 1/10 of a second out of that lead. So back and forth is this deficit. Probably be a little bit quicker this time too, due to the traffic ahead.
Working his way carefully around the lap traffic as they get out of the way for him.
And that was a perfect scenario for him, right? You catch them, and not only do you pass one of them, you pass both of them in the same corner as they did get up out of the way, and you'd expect.
Oh gosh, not as clean for Chandler Smith. Almost contact.
He had it on down in there.
See that pylon? 4 drivers in red officially locked into the round of 8. 4 more will join them here in 10 laps. No, Garcia looks at this point like he's not going to advance, but hats off to him, to his team at Thor Sport, making his first playoffs in his 2nd year with the team.
And just did such a nice job through some of these late races to put themselves in position to make sure they battled their way into the playoffs, and they will learn, right? Jake will learn, and certainly not over right now. It's not, the race isn't over yet, so we're not sending them home yet.
Another 1/10 of a second off that lead. Chandler Smith carved into of Corey Himes. Don't you love those bumps down into turn 3 to watch those guys just battle over those? This track is so fun.
A lot of character to this track, Michael, and we see Chandler Smith back there a little bit sideways off of turn 4. That just shows you he has given it everything he's got. He knows what's on the line, and he knows what the task at hand is, and he can probably see that traffic also, and he's thinking, oh, if I could just get a little bit closer, I could maybe make some magic happen here.
Oh, you see his crew chief just hoping for the best right now at this point. But what this team has done this year came together, you know, so last minute. We told the story. Chandler Smith got the call about 5 weeks before Daytona, said put your team together. They interviewed about 20 different crew chiefs.
3/10 off the lead that time by.
He's closing the gap.
And he knows it too. Head down, right, Regan? Giving it all you got.
See that from the seat, and you know when you get larger chunks out of a lead that somebody else has, and
let's cut it down under a second. The whole search for a championship is just right there in front of him. If he can just continue to cut into that lead.
One more lap truck to deal with here, Michael, and if he could make this pass and be able to go all the way up off of turn 2, which he's not going to be able to. That's going to cost a little bit of time right there. And
I mean, that's a tenth of a second right there.
Yeah,
right?
So frustrating from the driver's standpoint. Like, oh, if I could just have been 1 truck length further forward.
He gets around Loudon 1 second behind Corey Heim. 5 laps to try to get it done here. He's got to beat Corey Heim if he wants a chance to advance.
And it's wild when you think about how this day started. It started with Corey Heim in first, Chandler Smith in second, and everything that we went through in the middle of the day, it comes back down to these 2 trucks. And even when we started this race, I think there was maybe a thought process that this is maybe what it comes down to, is can Chandler Smith find a way past Corey Heim?
Look how close he is now.
Down to 3/4 of a second, Michael. It just keeps getting some chunks out of that lead every time by.
2/10 last time by, right there.
Another lap truck just ahead. Riggs back there in third, watching what's happening up ahead. He is locked in. Gio Ruggiero, what a great day for that young man, in fourth right now.
Home track too, Jamie. That's just got to feel so good for him. There's that 17 truck as he eyes Lane Riggs. But all eyes are on these 2. Lapping around Bailey Curry. Curry slides up.
And that pass there, as you see it look down the front straightaway for Corey Heim, that's the best thing he could see. No more traffic. He's dealt with all the traffic that he's likely going to catch in the next 2 laps and clear sailing. And from his perspective, that's a good sight.
Oh, there again, you talked about clearing that truck off the corner. Chandler Smith was unable to do so, and that just costly. How hard is this if you're Chandler Smith to put it all out there and just come up that
White flag is in the air. Final lap. Greg Biffle won 9 races back in 1999. Most wins in a season. Corey Heim wasn't even born.
Hello, Greg.
What a day it's been for Corey Heim. He's led 123 laps. It's just been a magical season. As he comes off of turn number 4, Corey Heim gets it done. He wins at New Hampshire. He ties the all-time wins record at 9.
Just an incredible season and job by Corey Heim and that team, you know, all the way up until this point to tie that 9 wins. I mean,
wow.
To put it in perspective, there's 2 or 3 races that he had the dominant truck and things went wrong at the end of them, and to still get to that number, even with that happening earlier, you're just impressive.
Another win for Corey Heim, but the agony of defeat for that man right there in the 38.
Gave it all he had, didn't he?
Yes, he
didn't
did.
come from lack of effort today for that entire team, and fortunately they'll be thinking about what could have been based on the first 2 races of this round, just how much different it could have been for that 38 team of Chandler Smith.
They're a powerhouse team. We have 4 races to go. He could still get another win, but unfortunately he's not going for the championship. And how about that young man? Raja Karuth does what he needs to do. He advances to the round of 8 by 10 points over Chandler Smith. He had some slideways moments, didn't he, Chandler Smith?
We saw a lot of digging in this race on the restarts and just desperately trying to gain every truck length they could throughout the day. Unfortunately for Chandler, he just came up a little short.
Well, he kept us all honest till the very end, didn't he?
He definitely did, and you know, a couple of those lap trucks go a little differently if he does find a way back to that back bumper. And I don't know that the pass was definitely not going to be easy if he got there, but in his situation, I don't know that he would have had a problem with a little bit of bumper tag if he had to, based on the point situation there.
America's Day at the Races is coming up next here on FS1. Once we hear from Heim time, we'll wrap things up. Well, guys, it's been good to get back. 8 years it took, but we got the Craftsman Truck Series back at New Hampshire.
One of the most energetic racetracks you'll go to all year long. Campers, as far as you can see, race fans just very excited to see NASCAR up here.
A track with so much character. Of course,
You know, with the domination we've seen from that cat all year long.
what time is it, Corey?
I was going to
There it
ask you,
is.
what time is it, Jamie?
Has he gotten a watch sponsor yet, Michael? He needs a Rolex at this point. And there you see it, the disappointment, not advancing. This team is just on fire.
I mean, so many things that can go wrong, and everything he does it just goes right. He's just very talented.
Keep finding a way, and you pair a great race team with a great driver, and magical things happen.
I know he said it. His crew chief has said it. It's just been an honor to drive these trucks for them this year, to have the bond and the relationship that they have. They figure things out. And Corey, I bet he didn't sleep much last night. He does his homework. He jumps in there and watches everything, listens to all the feedback. Incredible student of the sport. Our Amanda Busick is with Heim Time.
And it'll be a historic win to tie Greg Biffle. And we still have 4 races to go on this season. Corey, your crew chief, Scott Zipadelli, told me earlier that you have it all. Maturity, discipline, and talent. What legacy are you leaving on this series?
Yeah, I mean, I could say the same about him and everyone on this 11 group. I mean, it's a dream come true to be able to race with these guys. So it seems like everywhere we go this year, we're a contender or we win. So just can't say enough about those guys, and gonna keep it going. Like you said, we got 4 more races left, and I want to break that record. Shout out Greg Biffle, he's a great dude, and I'm honored to be able to kind of compete with that with him. But like I said, just huge thank you to TriCon Garage, Toyota, Safe Flight. Dream year for me personally in my career, so we're gonna keep it going. This truck was awesome, and yeah, we'll keep the ball rolling.
A dream year with 9 wins for Corey Heim. Caitlin?
Well, Amanda, Chandler Smith and Company did a lot of things right today, but come up 1 spot short. How do you process everything that's transpired throughout this round?
Just a lot of bad luck, but honestly, I'm a faithful guy, and I've been praying about it, and my prayers have been specific for the Lord's will, and obviously it wasn't in his will for us to advance to the next round, honestly. So super grateful for this group of guys that we were able to assemble on this 38 team. I huddled together before the race. We prayed together, let them know that this doesn't define us no matter what the outcome is. I'm proud of each and every one of them, the effort they put in on this truck throughout the week. We've accomplished a lot. We obviously wanted to go after the championship and, you know, have a chance to go after it. And but at the end of the day, I'm going to remain what I said and be faithful to the Lord, and it wasn't in his will. So just proud of everybody. The truck was fast today. It was really good. At the very end, found something and was starting to run the 11 back down. Just ran out of time. Wish I would have started, found what I found a little earlier in that run. Maybe it would have been a little better. But like I said, just proud of everybody, though, for sure.
Chandler Smith, the runner-up here today in Loudon, missing the next round of the playoffs. Jamie?
Thank you, Caitlin. So let's take a look at our playoff picture now for the round of 8 as we move on to the Roval. Wow, guys, look at Caden Honeycutt. Hung on, he is advancing. Job well done by him. Our next race coming up at the Charlotte Roval Friday, October 3rd at 3:30 Eastern. Michael Waltrip, Regan Smith, it's been awesome to be here with you guys. Back at New Hampshire.
A lot of fun, Jamie.
Yep.
For all of us here at Fox Sports, I'm Jamie Little. Thanks so much for watching. America's Day at the Races is coming up next. Congratulations once again to that man, Corey Heim.